Good evening. Today is September 16th, and this is attempt number 2 to make a video. I actually made a video a couple of days ago, and in that video I got pretty fired up. And there was one tidbit where I kind of got it wrong, and a friend of mine was very gracious to me and said, hey, you kind of put something out there that was not quite correct. So I deleted the whole thing in the interest of not wanting to spread incorrect information. So I'm doing this again. But after thinking about it, that video that I made a couple of days ago, some of you may have been looking for it and didn't find it. It's just not there anymore. I completely deleted it. It was kind of political, and that's not the purpose of my channel. There's no need for me to be political on this channel. There's no need for me to express my views about any of that stuff, about pro-vaccine, anti-vaccine, any of that, because my goal, and I kind of lost sight of that a little bit in the other video, but my goal, bottom line, is to support other nurses, to educate the public. And the thing is, healthcare providers, nurses, a lot of us are really hurting right now. Regardless of whether the healthcare provider believes that the public should be mandatorily vaccinated, or they should have a choice to be vaccinated or not, it doesn't matter. When someone comes into the hospital and is in the room, in the ICU room, alone and dying with COVID, and that nurse is stressed out because maybe the nurse is tripled and people are dying, and the nurse is emotionally stressed and tired and frustrated, it doesn't really matter. What if that nurse believes that, if that nurse is anti-vaccine or pro-vaccine, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because that in that moment that nurse is stressed and needs help. So this video is going to be about supporting nurses, supporting the public. And this country is so divided, and it makes me so sad. It just makes me so sad because I'm a veteran, and in the video that I made a couple of days ago, I made a big hunkin' deal about, I love my country, I serve my country, and all of that is true. I'm such a nerd when it comes to that kind of stuff. I'm patriotic to the max. I love my country, and I will be the first one to stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance and the flag and all of this stuff. And my country is hurting right now. My country is divided right now, and Americans are stressed, and it makes me sad. And mental health is really on the mental health problems are really on the rise, and suicides are on the rise. And this country had a real problem with mental health issues before the pandemic hit, before COVID came, before everything went on lockdown and the economy shut down and people became isolated, and so many people died from COVID. Before all of that happened, there was a mental health crisis. Well, you had the events of the last 2 years. Well, it's just so much worse now. And this is kind of where my story took a little bit of a turn, where 2 years ago I finished my family nurse practitioner, and decided to go back to school for my psychiatric mental health certification, so that I can help. And I'm in school right now so that I can help. And I'll be done in August. And I'm really looking forward to being a part of helping in that way. So, mental health. There's like a ton of YouTube videos. You can YouTube and search keywords: meditation, cognitive behavioral health videos, and there's just a lot of help out there in general. I don't know if there's a lot that are targeted towards healthcare providers, and I don't know if it's fair to say, oh, but nurses are a special breed. I think right now, if you're in the healthcare field and you're dealing with COVID patients, yeah, I think that's pretty fair to say. Whether you're a respiratory therapist or a nurse, or like an ICU nurse, where you are at the very end of life with some of these patients who are dying alone. Like in my first video, where us ICU nurses are like the very last people that some of the patients see because their families cannot be with them. That's hard, and that's stressful. And I know that some of us are going to come out of this whole thing with, PTSD issues. That's hard. So I'm part of a Facebook group with my ICU cohorts that I work with. One of them threw out an idea about our ICU director bringing a puppy to work every day. I thought that was awesome. It's an awesome idea, but I threw out an idea that I do sometimes. One thing that I've started doing in the last week or two is after work, I work 7A to 7P. Right now I'm working as an RN in the ICU while I'm going to school. And so sometimes when I leave work, okay, so like on an average day before all the COVID stuff hits, sometimes you leave work as an ICU nurse and you can't really say what you did that day. You just know that you hardly got a chance to pee, and sometimes you didn't get to take lunch until like 4 or 5 o'clock. But you add COVID into the mix, and these really intense things that are happening at work now because of COVID, and you leave work and you're just kind of numb sometimes, or you're just like exhausted. Like sometimes I leave work and I probably look like a mummy, with my arms down. I just I just walk toward my car, just thinking, like, what just happened? Tired and processing, and it takes time to process sometimes everything I did and saw or whatever that day. So sometimes what I do is I just sit in my vehicle and I meditate for 5 to 10 minutes. I use an app called Headspace. It's a free app, and they offer a subscription service. There's another app called Calm, CALM, which I heard is good, but I've not used that one. I use Headspace. But I just sit there and I go through a little meditation thing, de-stress or calm down or something along those lines for 5 to 10 minutes. And that's just my way to figuratively put the shift away, put it up on a shelf before I go home. because I don't want to take that stuff home with me. I don't want to take that baggage home with me. The stuff that I experienced at work, the stuff that I did, I want to leave that at work. I don't want to bring it home. So I just sit in my car for 5 to 10 minutes. So that's something you can do. And stretching really helps. And don't forget that your deep breathing exercises, and there's just a variety of things. You can take a deep breath in for 5 seconds, hold it for a couple of seconds, and then let it out for 5 seconds. And when you do this, it's helpful if you take one hand and put it on your chest, another hand put it on your belly. And when you take a deep breath in, try to breathe in using your belly. Because that helps you to leave your chest still, take the deep breath in your belly. And sometimes it helps to just say, relax, relax, relax. When you exhale, that helps to calm down. And when you first practice this, you can literally say, relax, relax, relax on your exhalation. That really helps a lot. And a lot of us nurses, we're all very social, so please do not isolate yourself. Please do not isolate yourself. Find another nurse that you really connect with. Go have coffee and talk to each other. You've got to connect with each other. You've got to. Because, when you internalize some of the things that we do at work, it's just not good. Just talk to each other, support each other. The weather's turning nice. I live in Missouri. So the weather's turning nice, so it's a good idea it's an opportunity to grab the fire pit and just go out in the yard and invite a couple of people over and just, roast some marshmallows or something. And, find something fun to do. For me, I like to hunt. So this morning was really nice. A couple of days ago, I went and set out the blind in a hunting spot so that the deer could get used to it. And so this morning I just went out there and I went hunting. I took my crossbow and I just sat out there and I listened to nature and I watched for deer. I didn't catch anything today, but it was nice being out there. It's relaxing. But reconnect with something that you enjoy doing. You've got to practice some self-care. You just got to take care of you. So, short video today. But I just wanted to connect with all of you guys out there. With all of y'all out there. Times are tough right now. The pandemic is just... A lot of us are saying, here we go again. It's here again. And this is getting really old. It's getting really old. COVID sucks. And there's so many different dynamics now here that we're not here yet. Last time, we're tired, we're frustrated, and we're stressed. Make sure you get your exercise, do your deep breathing exercises, find something fun to do, and connect with each other. If you want some more ideas, feel free to email me. I got a ton of them. But take care of yourself. And we'll see you next time.